I'm Emily Carter, a 29-year-old U.S. Army sergeant, forged in the crucible of Fort Bragg, but scarred by a past that refuses to stay buried. At midnight, my stepfather, Frank, a man I once fled, stormed my apartment, his fists shattering my sense of safety as my family, my own mother and cousins, stood frozen, their silence louder than my cries. This isn't just a tale of survival. It's a raw fight to reclaim power from betrayal's grip. Before I unravel how I rose from that blood-stained floor to rebuild my life and save my mom, drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is. Your stories fuel this community. Hit that subscribe button if you believe no one should face their demons alone. Stick around to see how I turned pain into purpose. You won't want to miss the strength born from this darkness. I'm a sergeant in the U.S. Army stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. If you'd told me a decade ago I'd be here, calling a military base my home, I'd have laughed in your face. Back then, I was just a kid in a shitty little town outside Columbus, Ohio, dodging my stepfather's temper and my mom's silence. That house was a war zone, but not the kind I was trained for. Fort Bragg. This place is my sanctuary, my army home, where I've carved out a life that's mine, built on sweat, discipline, and a squad that feels more like family than the one I left behind. But even now, with my stripes and my strength, the ghosts of that Ohio house still creep into my life, whispering that I'm not as safe as I think. Growing up, my world was small and jagged. My real dad died when I was 6, in a car accident, gone in a flash. Mom remarried when I was 9, and that's when Frank slithered into our lives. He was a mechanic, a big guy, all charm at first, fixing our leaky sink and making Mom smile again. But the mask came off quickly. By the time I was a teenager, he was a controlling bastard, barking orders, belittling Mom for every little thing. Her cooking, her clothes, her laziness. I'd catch her crying over old photos of Dad, but she'd never stand up to Frank. She'd just shrink, her eyes dull, her voice a whisper. "He's providing for us, Emily," she'd say. Like that excused the way he made our home feel like a prison. I tried calling him out once, at 15, and got a backhand for it. That's when I learned to keep my head down, biding my time till I could escape. Escape came at 18 when I signed up for the Army. I wasn't some starry-eyed patriot. I just needed out. The recruiter didn't bullshit me, said it'd be tough, but it'd give me a shot at a real life. I packed a duffel bag, hugged Mom goodbye, while Frank glared from the porch, and never looked back. Basic training kicked my ass, but it also woke me up. I found strength I didn't know I had, hauling gear through mud, nailing obstacle courses, learning logistics like it was my lifeline. Fort Bragg became my new world. I'm a logistics specialist now, making sure supplies get where they're needed, keeping the machine running. My squad's my backbone. Guys and gals who've got my 6, who I'd trust with my life. We've got this rhythm, long days, bad coffee, and nights blowing off steam at the local dive bar. It's not perfect, but it's mine, and for the first time, I felt like I belonged. Still, family's got a way of creeping back in, no matter how far you run. Mom calls every couple of weeks, her voice thin, like she's scared Frank's listening. I've been pushing her to leave him, telling her about shelters, about starting over. "You're strong, Mom," I'd say. "You don't need him." But she'd just mumble excuses, same as always. "He's not so bad, Emily. We manage." Bullshit. I know he's still controlling her, checking her phone, her emails, probably the damn odometer on her car. Last month, she sent me a text at 2 a.m. "Don't call for a while. He's upset." Upset about what? Me meddling, probably. I've been trying to get her to see she's worth more than his abuse, but it's like talking to a wall. And it's not just Mom. My cousins, aunts, uncles, they all act like Frank's some misunderstood saint. Family sticks together, they say, but it feels like they're just enabling him. Here at Fort Bragg, though, I've got my people. Sarah, my battle buddy, is a tough-as-nails specialist from Texas, who doesn't take crap from anyone. She's the one who pulls me out of my head when I'm stressing about Mom. dragging me to karaoke nights or hiking trails. My squad leader, Captain Daniels, is all business but fair, always pushing me to be better. They're the ones who make this place feel like home, not just a base. I've got my own apartment off post, a small one-bedroom with a view of pine trees, where I can blast music or read without anyone breathing down my neck. It's freedom I never had growing up, and I guard it. But lately, there's this nagging feeling like a storm's coming. Frank's calls have gotten sharper, his tone biting when he mentions Mom. "You're filling her head with nonsense," he snapped last week. "Stay out of our business." I hung up, heart pounding, wondering how far he'd go to keep control. Mom's texts are getting weirder. Random stuff about the neighbor's dog or Dad's old toolbox, like she's trying to tell me something without saying it. I've told Sarah bits and pieces, and she's been on me to report it to the family advocacy program, but I keep putting it off. What can they do from here? And my squad, they've noticed I'm distracted, but I brush it off with a laugh. Just family drama, I say, like it's no big deal. But deep down, I know better. Frank's not the type to let go, and Mom's not strong enough to break free on her own. I lie awake sometimes, staring at the ceiling, thinking about that Ohio house, the way Frank's voice could fill a room with dread, the way Mom's silence let it happen. I thought I'd left that behind when I put on this uniform, when I earned my stripes. Fort Bragg's supposed to be my safe haven, where I'm a soldier, not a scared kid. But now, with Frank's anger simmering and Mom's cryptic messages piling up, I'm starting to wonder if I'm really as safe as I thought. Something's coming, and I'm not sure I'm ready for it. Still, I'm a damn sergeant. I've faced worse than a bully like Frank, or at least that's what I tell myself to keep the fear at bay. It's just past midnight, and I'm sprawled on the couch in my off-base apartment at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, trying to shake off a long day of shuffling supply requisitions. My phone buzzes on the coffee table, Frank's name flashing like a warning signal. I hesitate, my gut twisting. His calls have been nastier lately, all because I've been pushing Mom to ditch his sorry ass. Against my better judgment, I pick up. "Emily, we need to talk," he growls. But his voice is too close, too real. Before I can respond, there's a pounding at my door, so hard it rattles the frame. My heart slams into my ribs. No way. He's here. I barely crack the door before Frank shoves it open, the force knocking me back a step. He's a hulking shadow in the dim hallway light, reeking of whiskey and rage. His eyes are bloodshot, his fists already clenched. "You think you can ruin my family?" he snarls, stepping inside like he owns the place. I'm a sergeant, trained to handle chaos, but this is different. This is the monster from my childhood, invading my safe haven. "Frank, get the hell out," I snap, trying to keep my voice steady, but he's already in my face, his breath hot and sour. "You've been filling your mom's head with bullshit, telling her to leave me. You're tearing us apart," I try to de-escalate. Hands up like I'm calming a spooked recruit. "Let's talk outside, Frank. Not here." But he's not listening. He grabs my arm, twisting hard, and shoves me against the wall. The impact jars my spine, pain sparking like a live wire. "You don't get to play soldier and destroy my life," he roars, his fist swinging. I duck, but not fast enough. His knuckles graze my shoulder, sending a jolt of agony through me. I stumble, my training kicking in, and I manage a weak push to create space. But he's bigger, stronger, and drunk on fury. Then I hear footsteps. My stomach lurches as Mom appears in the doorway, her face pale, her eyes wide with fear. Behind her are my cousins, Jake and Lisa, dragged along by Frank like some twisted audience. "Tell her, Linda," Frank barks at Mom. "Tell your daughter how you're choosing me, not her." Mom's lips tremble, but she says nothing, just stands there, a ghost of the woman who raised me. Jake and Lisa avoid my gaze, their silence louder than any shout. "Mom, please," I choke out, my voice cracking as Frank grabs me again, slamming me to the floor. The hardwood bites into my knees, and my shoulder screams from the earlier hit. Something's torn. I can feel it. "You ungrateful bitch," Frank spits, looming over me. You think you're tough in that uniform? You're nothing. His boot swings, catching my side, and the air whooshes out of my lungs. I gasp, vision blurring, but I catch Mom's eyes. Empty, frozen, like she's watching a movie, not her daughter getting beaten in her own damn home. Help me, I rasp, crawling toward the coffee table where my phone lies. Lisa takes a half step forward, but Frank's glare stops her cold. Stay put, he snaps, and she freezes, just like Mom, just like Jake. Their silence is a knife in my chest, sharper than Frank's blows. My fingers graze my phone as Frank grabs my hair, yanking my head back. Pain explodes in my scalp, and I'm fighting to stay conscious, my training useless against his raw strength. You'll learn to stay out of my business, he hisses, his hand rising for another hit. With every ounce of willpower, I unlock my phone, thumb fumbling to open my messages. Sarah, my battle buddy, is my last hope. She's always at the top of my texts. I type SOS and hit send as Frank's fist comes down again, clipping my temple. Black spots dance in my vision and my body slumps, the room spinning. The last thing I see is Mom, still in the doorway, her hands clasped so tight her knuckles are white, but she doesn't move, doesn't speak. Jake and Lisa stand behind her, heads bowed, as if they're at a funeral, not watching me fight for my life. Frank's voice fades into a dull roar, something about teaching me a lesson. My army home, the one place I thought was mine, feels like a trap now, the walls closing in as my consciousness slips. I'm a survivor, I've always been, but right now I'm just a kid again, begging for someone to save me from the monster I thought I'd escaped. And my family, they're just watching, silent as the grave. As I fall, I wake up in a hospital bed at Womack Army Medical Center, my shoulders screaming like it's been run over by a Humvee. The sterile smell of antiseptic stings my nose, and a dull ache throbs in my head where Frank's fist clipped my temple. I'm alive somehow, but it doesn't feel like a victory. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, and I'm staring at the ceiling, trying to piece together how my world, my safe haven at Fort Bragg, turned into a goddamn nightmare. My right arm's in a sling, my sides bruised from his boot, and every breath feels like a knife twisting in my ribs. But the real pain, it's not the injuries, it's the image burned into my brain. Mom standing in my doorway, eyes blank, doing nothing as Frank beat the shit out of me. And my cousins, Jake and Lisa, were just as silent, watching me bleed like I was nothing to them. I'm a sergeant, trained to stay calm under fire, but this betrayal, hits harder than any combat drill. My apartment was supposed to be my fortress, my escape from the Ohio hellhole where Frank ruled and Mom shrank. Now it's just a crime scene, my blood still staining the hardwood. I keep replaying that night, every second a fresh cut. Mom's trembling hands, clasped so tight her knuckles were white. Jake's eyes were glued to the floor. Lisa's half step forward went nowhere. They saw me begging, saw me fall, and did nothing. It's like I'm 15 again, hiding in my room while Frank screams at Mom, her silence louder than his rage. I thought I'd outrun that life when I put on this uniform, but it's followed me across the country, right into my goddamn home. The hospital room's too quiet, just the beep of monitors and the occasional shuffle of nurses. My phone's on the bedside table, but I can't bring myself to check it. What's the point? More excuses from Mom? Another threat from Frank? I grab the cheap whiskey I smuggled in. Don't judge. It's all I've got to dull this ache. And take a swig. The burn barely registering. I'm spiraling, and I know it. My squad's been by, Sarah leaving a stack of magazines, Captain Daniels dropping off a get well card signed by the team. But I can't face them. I'm too ashamed. Ashamed I let Frank get to me. Ashamed I thought my family might actually give a damn. I'm a soldier, for fuck's sake. Trained to handle worse than this. So why do I feel like I'm falling apart? Mom calls that afternoon, her voice thin and shaky over the hospital phone. Emily, I'm so sorry, she starts, but I cut her off. Sorry doesn't fix this, Mom. You stood there. You watched. There's a long pause. Then her same old excuse. He didn't mean it, honey. He was drunk, upset about us fighting. It's the same bullshit she fed me when I was a kid, when I'd find her crying in the kitchen after one of Frank's tirades. I want to scream, to ask why she's still choosing him over me, but the words stick in my throat. I can't do this right now, I mutter, and hang up, my hands shaking. Her voice haunts me, a reminder that she's still trapped, still broken, and I'm failing her all over again by not knowing how to pull her out. I scroll through old texts, hoping for something, anything, to make sense of this. There's one from Jake, sent hours after the attack. I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry. Sorry. That word's starting to sound like a curse. Lisa hasn't reached out at all, probably too scared of Frank's wrath or just not caring enough. I toss the phone aside, the whiskey bottle calling my name again. I'm not a drunk, but right now it's the only thing keeping the darkness at bay. I think about quitting the army, just packing up and disappearing somewhere Frank can't find me. But where would I go? This uniform, this base, it's all I've got. Without it, I'm just that scared kid again, hiding from the monster in the house. The nurses keep checking on me, their pitying looks making my skin crawl. They say I'm lucky, no broken bones, just a dislocated shoulder and some nasty bruises. Lucky? Yeah, right. Lucky to be alive maybe, but not lucky to carry this weight. I keep seeing Mom's face, those empty eyes, and it's like a punch to the gut every time. Did she ever love me enough to fight for me? Or was I always just collateral damage in her life with Frank? And my cousins? Family's supposed to have your back, right? But they stood there, silent, like I wasn't worth saving. I thought I'd built something stronger here at Fort Bragg, a life where I was more than my past. Now I'm not so sure. I'm a survivor, always have been. I survived Frank's house, survived basic training, and survived deployments, where one wrong move could have ended me. But this feels like a defeat I can't shake. My squad's support feels distant, like they're helping out of duty, not because they get it. Sarah's the only one who seems to see through my bullshit, but even she can't fix this. I'm drowning in questions. Was it my fault for pushing Mom to leave? Did I bring this on myself by thinking I could outrun my past? The hospital room feels smaller with every passing hour, the walls closing in like they did that night. Fort Bragg was my haven, but now it's just a reminder that nowhere's safe when your own family betrays you. I take another swig of whiskey, the burn a faint echo of the fire I used to have. I'm not sure what's left of me, but I know one thing. I can't stay in this darkness forever. I'm out of the hospital, back in my Fort Bragg apartment, but it doesn't feel like home anymore. The hardwood floor still has faint bloodstains from where I hit the ground, a reminder of Frank's fists and my family's silence. My shoulders in a sling, aching with every move, and my head's a mess of bruises and bad memories. I've been dodging my squad's calls, hiding behind texts that say I'm fine, because admitting how broken I feel is too damn hard. The whiskey bottle's empty now, and I'm staring at my phone, wondering if I've got the guts to keep going. I'm a sergeant, trained to push through hell, but this betrayal from Mom, Jake, Lisa, and that bastard Frank, it's got me questioning everything. I'm a survivor, always have been. But right now, I'm not sure what I'm fighting for. Then Sarah, my battle buddy, shows up unannounced, banging on my door like she's ready to kick it down. "Open up, Carter, or I'm hauling your ass out myself," she shouts, her Texas drawl cutting through my haze. I let her in, mostly because I know she won't quit. She's got a thermos of coffee and a look that says she's not here for bullshit excuses. We sit on my couch, and I'm bracing for a lecture. But instead, she starts talking about her own past, how she left a family that tore her down, how she rebuilt herself in the army. "You're not done, Emily," she says, her eyes locked on mine. "Frank's a piece of shit, and your family screwed you over, but you're stronger than this. You gonna let him win?" Her words hit like a gut punch, stirring something I thought I'd lost. She's right. I didn't survive that Ohio hellhole just to let Frank break me now. Sarah pushes me to report him, not just to the civilian cops, but to the military police, MPs. You're a soldier, Carter. Use the system. And your mom? She needs you to fight for her even if she can't. I'm scared, though. What if reporting Frank makes it worse for Mom? What if he takes it out on her? But Sarah's no-nonsense vibe is like a drill sergeant's bark, snapping me out of my spiral. I start digging for evidence, anything to nail Frank to the wall. I pull up old texts from Mom, cryptic ones about needing to be careful or he's been drinking again. I find a hospital report from the night of the attack, detailing my dislocated shoulder, bruised ribs, and the gash on my temple. Then there's a voicemail Frank left a week before, slurring about how I'd regret interfering. It's not much, but it's a start. And it feels like loading ammo for a fight I didn't ask for. The next day I met Sarah at a diner off post, the kind with sticky tables and coffee that tastes like motor oil. She's brought her laptop, and we start piecing things together. I show her the text, the voicemail, and she nods like we're planning a mission. You need to take this to the MPs, she says. They'll coordinate with the Ohio police. And you need to get your mom out of that house. I hesitate, my stomach knotting. What if she won't go? She's been making excuses for him my whole life. Sarah leans forward, her voice low but fierce. Then you show her what strength looks like. You're not just fighting for you. You're showing her she can fight too. Her words light a fire, reminding me of the kid who joined the army to prove Frank wrong, who earned her stripes despite his bullshit. I spend hours combing through my phone, saving screenshots, and backing up voicemails. It's a slog, like wading through mud, and every message from Mom feels like a fresh wound. One text from a month ago reads, "He checks everything, Emily. Don't call." It's proof she's scared, proof he's controlling her, but it also hurts like hell. She's still choosing him over me. I'm paranoid too, checking my locks twice, half expecting Frank to show up again. Sarah stays over one night, crashing on my couch, her presence a reminder I'm not alone. She tells me about a family advocacy program on base, says they've got counselors who deal with this kind of crap. I'm skeptical. How's a counselor going to fix a lifetime of Mom's silence? But I agree to call them, if only to shut Sarah up. By the end of the week, I've got a folder of evidence, text, medical records, that damning voicemail. It's not airtight, but it's enough to make a case. I meet with an MP officer, a no-nonsense guy named Lieutenant Brooks, who listens without judgment. He says they can work with civilian police to investigate, maybe even get a restraining order for Mom. "This is serious, Sergeant," he says. "An attack on a soldier in her home. We don't let that slide." His words hit hard, reminding me the Army's got my back, even if my family doesn't. But the fear's still there. What if Frank flips out when he's served papers? What if Mom refuses to leave? I'm fighting for her, for me, but it feels like I'm marching into a minefield blind. I'm not giving up, though. Sarah's right. I'm stronger than this. I survived Frank's house, survived basic training, survived deployments where one mistake could have ended me. This fight's different, messier, but it's mine. I'm not just saving Mom. I'm proving to myself that I'm more than the kid who cowered under Frank's shadow. Every text I save, every call I make, it's a step toward taking back my life. I'm scared as hell, but I'm a damn sergeant. I faced worse odds, and I'm not letting that bastard win. Not this time. I'm sitting in my Fort Bragg apartment, my shoulder still aching in its sling, surrounded by a mess of printed texts and hospital reports. It's been a week since I started this fight against Frank, piecing together evidence to nail his sorry ass to the wall. My coffee's gone cold, my head's pounding, and I'm running on fumes. But Sarah's words keep echoing. "You're stronger than this. I'm a sergeant, a goddamn survivor." But every time I read Mom's texts about Frank's abuse, it's like a punch to the gut. I'm fighting for her, for me, but it feels like I'm shouting into a void. My family's silence, Mom, Jake, Lisa, still stings worse than the bruises Frank left. I'm starting to wonder if I'm crazy for thinking I can save her when she's spent my whole life choosing him. Then, late one night, I'm scrolling through old emails, desperate for anything to strengthen my case with the MPs. My inbox is a graveyard of unanswered messages to Mom, but buried in the clutter is one from 3 months ago, sent at 4 a.m. The subject line's blank, and it's just a few lines. Emily, he's getting worse. I'm scared to leave. He says he'll find me. Don't tell anyone. My heart stops. It's not just proof. It's Mom admitting she's trapped, something she's never done before. I read it again, my hands shaking, feeling a mix of rage and hope. This is it. The smoking gun I need to convince the military police and Ohio cops that Frank's a threat. Not just to me, but to her. For the first time in weeks, I feel a spark, like I'm not just fighting a losing battle. The next morning, I met Sarah at the Family Advocacy Program office on base. She's dragged me here, insisting I talk to a counselor who gets this kind of shit. The counselor, Miss Rivera, is a no-nonsense woman with a calm voice that somehow doesn't piss me off. I show her the email, the texts, and my medical records from the attack. She nods, jotting notes, and says, "This is enough to get the MPs moving. We can also connect with a domestic violence shelter in Ohio to get your mom out." I'm skeptical. Mom's never left before, always making excuses. But Miss Rivera talks me through a plan. A restraining order, a safe house, even legal aid to protect Mom's rights. "You're doing this for her," she says. "But you're also showing her she's worth saving." Her words hit hard, like a drill sergeant calling me to attention. Maybe I can't force Mom to leave, but I can damn well give her a way out. Later that day, my phone buzzes with a text from Jake, my cousin, who was there the night Frank attacked me. "I fucked up, Emily. I should have stopped him. I was scared." I stare at the message, my chest tight. Jake's not a bad guy, just a coward, like the rest of my family. But his guilt? It's something I can use. I call him, my voice sharper than I mean it to be. "You want to make this right? Tell the MPs what you saw." There's a long pause. Then he agrees, his voice shaky but firm. He admits Frank's been terrorizing Mom for years, and that he saw bruises on her arms last month. It's not an apology I want, but it's a start. A crack in the wall of silence that's kept me and Mom trapped. Sarah and I met Lieutenant Brooks, the MP officer, that afternoon. I lay out everything: Mom's email, Jake's testimony, my hospital records, Frank's threatening voicemail. Brooks listens, his face grim. "This is serious, Sergeant Carter. An assault on a soldier, plus a history of domestic violence. We're coordinating with Ohio police now. We'll push for a warrant." He also mentions a shelter in Columbus that can take Mom if she agrees to go. For the first time, I feel like I'm not alone in this fight. The Army's got my back, and Sarah's right there, her presence like a shield. She doesn't say much, just squeezes my shoulder, but it's enough to keep me grounded. That night, I started therapy with Miss Rivera, something I swore I'd never do. I'm not one for spilling my guts, but sitting in her office, I start to see how my childhood fucked me up. How I've been carrying Mom's pain like it's my job to fix her. "You're not responsible for her choices," Miss Rivera says, "but you can show her what strength looks like. It's like lifting a weight, just a little. I'm not just a soldier. I'm a survivor who's fought worse battles than this." I think about the kid who joined the Army to escape Frank, who earned her stripes despite his bullshit. That kid's still in me, and she's ready to fight. I'm not naive. Frank's not going down easy, and Mom might still cling to him. But this email, Jake's confession, the MP's support, it's a turning point. I'm not drowning anymore. I'm swimming, clawing my way toward something better. I look at Sarah, at the folder of evidence on my table, and I feel it. Hope. Not the fluffy kind, but the gritty, hard-won kind that comes from knowing I'm not done yet. I'm a sergeant, a survivor, and I'm fighting for Mom, for me, for the life I've built at Fort Bragg. Frank thought he could break me that night. He's about to learn how wrong he was. I'm standing outside the small, run-down house in Columbus, Ohio, where I grew up, my heart hammering like I'm about to breach an enemy stronghold. It's been 2 weeks since I found Mom's email, the one that admitted Frank's abuse, and now I'm here with Lieutenant Brooks from the MPs and 2 Ohio cops, ready to face the bastard who tried to break me. My shoulders still in a sling, a constant reminder of that midnight attack in my Fort Bragg apartment. But I'm not the scared kid I was back then. I'm a sergeant, a goddamn survivor, and today I'm taking Frank down. Sarah's with me, her steady presence like a lifeline, and Mom's inside that house, still trapped in his grip. My cousins, Jake and Lisa, are somewhere in there too. Their silence from that night is still a raw wound. This isn't just about me, it's about saving Mom, about proving I'm stronger than Frank's bullshit. The cops knock, and Frank opens the door, his bulk filling the frame. He's aged since I last saw him, his face ruddier, his eyes narrowed with that same smug arrogance. "What the hell is this?" he snaps, glaring at me like I'm dirt under his boot. I step forward, my voice steady despite the rage boiling inside. "It's over, Frank. We've got proof of what you did. To me, to Mom." I hold up the folder, Mom's email, my medical records, Jake's testimony, the threatening voicemail. His face darkens, but he laughs, a harsh, ugly sound. "You think you can waltz in here with your soldier bullshit and ruin my life? Your mom chose me, Emily. She's fine." I glance at the doorway, where Mom stands, pale and trembling, her eyes darting between us. She looks like a ghost, but she's here, and that's something. Lieutenant Brooks steps in, his tone all business. "Mr. Thompson, we have a warrant for your arrest. Assault, stalking across state lines, and suspected domestic violence." The Ohio cops move forward, cuffs ready, but Frank's not going down easy. "This is my house," he roars, shoving a finger in my face. "You're a lying bitch, just like your mother." I don't flinch. Years in the Army taught me to stand tall under fire. "Your house?" I shoot back. "It's in Mom's name, Frank. You're just a leech." His hand twitches, like he wants to hit me again. But the cops grab him, pinning his arms. He thrashes, cursing, but they've got him. Mom lets out a small sob, and I turn to her, my heart twisting. "Mom, you don't have to stay. There's a shelter ready for you right now." She shakes her head, tears streaming down her face. "He'll find me, Emily. He always does." Her voice is barely a whisper, and it's like a knife to my chest, but I see something flicker in her eyes. Fear, yes, but maybe a spark of hope. Jake steps out from behind her, his face pale. "I'll go with her," he says quietly, his voice shaking. "I saw what he did to you, Emily. I should have helped." Lisa's there too, but she's still silent, her eyes on the floor. I want to scream at her, at all of them, for letting me bleed that night, but I focus on Mom. "We're leaving, Mom. Together." The cops haul Frank out, his shouts echoing down the street. I guide Mom to the car, Sarah right beside me, her hand on my good shoulder. "You're doing this, Carter," she whispers. "You're saving her." At the shelter, a caseworker named Miss Torres takes Mom in, her calm demeanor cutting through the chaos. She explains the restraining order, the legal steps, the therapy waiting for Mom. I watch Mom clutch a pamphlet, her hands trembling but gripping it tight, like it's a lifeline. It's not a fairy tale ending. She's scared, broken, but she's here, away from Frank. That's a victory, small but real. My family's still a mess. Lisa calls later, mumbling an apology, but it's half-assed, and I'm done with her excuses. Jake's trying at least, helping Mom settle at the shelter, but I can't unsee their silence that night in my apartment. The MPs and Ohio police are building a case. Assault on a soldier is no small thing, and Frank's history of abuse seals his fate. Brooks tells me he's looking at serious time, maybe years. I should feel relieved, but it's bittersweet. I've saved Mom, but I've lost the family I thought I had. My cousins, my aunts, they're all quick to say I'm tearing us apart, but I'm done carrying their guilt. Back at Fort Bragg, Sarah and Miss Rivera are waiting for me. Sarah's grin is fierce, like we just won a battle. You faced that bastard down, Carter. Proud of you. Miss Rivera nods, saying this is just the start. Mom's got a long road, but so do I. I'm not the kid who cowered under Frank's shadow anymore. I'm a sergeant, trained to fight, to protect, and I've done that today. This confrontation wasn't just about Frank. It was about breaking the chains he put on Mom, on me. I'm not done fighting, but standing here, with Mom safe and Frank in cuffs, I know I'm stronger than he ever thought I could be. I'm back at Fort Bragg, standing in my apartment, the faint bloodstains on the hardwood now scrubbed clean. It's been 3 months since I faced Frank in Ohio, watched the cops cuff him, and got Mom to a shelter. My shoulders healed enough to ditch the sling, though it'll never be quite the same. Scar tissue's a bitch, but it's a badge of what I survived. I'm a staff sergeant now, my new stripes pinned on by Captain Daniels in a ceremony that felt like a middle finger to Frank's attempt to break me. That midnight attack, the one where my family stood silent while I bled, could have defined me. But I'm a goddamn survivor, and I've turned that pain into something bigger. Something that's not just about me or Mom, but about every soldier carrying scars from a fucked up family. Frank's locked away, slapped with a 7-year sentence for assault, stalking, and domestic violence. The prosecutor called me after the plea deal, saying the interstate charges and my status as a soldier made the case airtight. He's in a prison 500 miles from Columbus, his letters piling up unopened because I'm done letting him near my life. Mom's in transitional housing now, a small apartment paid for by a domestic violence organization. She's in therapy, slowly peeling back the layers of fear Frank buried her under. I visit when I can, driving up on weekends, and it's like seeing her wake up. She's got a job at a community center, answering phones, her smile hesitant but real. We're rebuilding, one careful conversation at a time, but it's not easy. I failed you, Emily, she said last week, tears in her eyes. I stood there and let him hurt you. I hugged her, my throat tight. You were broken too, Mom. We're fixing it now. My family's still a mess. Lisa's apology never came. Just a text saying she needs space. Jake's trying, helping Mom with errands, but I keep him at arm's length. His silence that night still stings. The rest of them, aunts, uncles, call me the troublemaker for locking Frank up. Like I'm the one who broke the family. Screw them. I found a better family here at Fort Bragg. Sarah's my rock, always ready with a beer or a blunt. Get your shit together when I need it. Captain Daniels and the squad didn't just check on me. They rallied, driving me to physical therapy, covering my duties while I healed. They showed me what family's supposed to be. People who've got your six, no questions asked. I'm different now, stronger in ways I didn't expect. Therapy with Miss Rivera helped me see how I'd been carrying Mom's pain, thinking it was my job to save her. You're not her keeper, Miss Rivera said. You're her daughter, and you're enough. Those words stuck, like a weight lifting off my chest. I'm not just a soldier or a victim. I'm Emily Carter, a survivor who's turned her scars into strength. That realization pushed me to start something new, Safe Haven Squad, a support group on base for soldiers dealing with toxic families. I kicked it off last month, nervous as hell, standing in a rec room telling my story, Frank's attack, my family's silence, my fight to save Mom. The room was packed, soldiers nodding, some tearing up. A private named Torres shared her own story, her dad's abuse, her siblings' silence. I thought I was alone, she said. You showed me I'm not. Safe Haven Squad's growing, and I'm working with Miss Rivera to make it a permanent program. Every session, I see soldiers find their voice, their strength, just like I did. It's not about erasing the pain. It's about carrying it differently, using it to help others. I'm taking online courses too, aiming for a degree in psychology, because I want to do this right, not just wing it. Sarah's in on it, helping me plan meetings, her Texas sass keeping things real. You're building something badass, Carter, she says, and I believe her. My apartment at midnight isn't a crime scene anymore. It's where I plan sessions, write notes, and reclaim the space Frank tried to destroy. Mom came to a meeting last week, her first time speaking publicly. Her voice shook as she talked about Frank's control, how it stole her spark. My daughter showed me I could start over, she said, looking at me. The room clapped, and I felt tears prick my eyes, not from pain, but pride. We're healing together, not perfectly, but honestly. I've learned forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing to move forward, scars and all. My family may never get it, but I don't need their approval. Fort Bragg, my squad, Safe Haven squad. They're my home now, my proof that family is who stands with you, not who you're born to. I'm not the kid who cowered under Frank's shadow, nor the soldier who bled out in her apartment. I'm a staff sergeant, a survivor, a voice for others. That night at midnight could have broken me, but instead it forged me into someone who fights, not just for herself, but for every soldier carrying a past too heavy to bear alone. So what's your fight? Whatever chains you're carrying, you're stronger than you know. Break them, rise up, and build something unstoppable. That's what I did, and I'm just getting started. That's my story, raw and real, and I'm still here, standing tall. If it hit home for you, if you've ever felt betrayed by the people who should have had your back, I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts below, your struggles, your wins, or just a nod to say you're not alone. Your voice matters, and together, we can lift each other up. Thank you for listening to my fight, for being part of this journey. I'm grateful to everyone who took the time to hear me out. Stay strong, keep fighting your battles, and I'll see you next time with more stories of rising stronger.